Hello and welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining us again today. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to Nikolien Martijn. Now, Nikolien joins us from the Netherlands, and Nikolien has quite an interesting journey in that she started in the corporate world like so many women, and then with the arrival of her first child, took a complete career change and went into coaching for other women. So we're going to learn a little bit today from Nikolien in regards to where she was and what led her to the path that she's currently on and how she's currently helping women to be free. So Nikolien, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can you please take us back a few years to where you were? You'd just had a baby, you were in the life coaching arena. Can you talk to us about where you were at that point in time in terms of the frustration and the things that were really causing you to keep searching for, that something else that, you found or felt was missing from your business?
Yeah, I was working very hard, having a baby, working full time, and working in the evenings, working in the weekends, barely earned any money. It was really a struggle to get clients because the market was and still is so overcrowded with many coaches around. So I really had to struggle to earn a decent living. And I was also very frustrated that I worked very hard, and after a while I saw women revert back to their issues and struggles and their patterns. Even when we both had a very good program together, after a while you just saw them glide back to their old behaviors and old blockages.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really frustrating. And with even though all the money that went into, all the energy and all the love that went into, it didn't help that good.
Yeah. What were you using at that point in time in your practice? How were you trying to help the women that you were working with?
Mainly NLP.
Yeah.
I was mainly using NLP. And what I also found myself, I was actually a bit drowning in NLP because there were so many different processes and so many different takes on NLP that I couldn't really, in practice, didn't really know what to do with my clients.
Yeah.
So I was struggling to find which processes to use and what to do to really get them on the other side. So I was really doubting myself. So, okay, if I see those women reverting back to the old blockages and patterns, what do I do wrong? And then came a point that I looked in at my bookshelves, and there are many books with all self-help books and manuals of all the trainings that I've followed, and all the books of different gurus and professionals in the self-development industry, personal development industry. And I was wondering, how come with all that information around and all those professionals and all those books and programs and therapies, how come still so many women are stuck? And become stuck, stay stuck? What is going wrong here? And of course, at first I thought, well, what do I do wrong? But then I did a bit of research and I found out it's not me. And then I looked at my clients. Do I have the wrong clients? But I looked at my clients and said, no, they're very committed and dedicated in the process. So where does it go wrong? And that was actually that question was the start of my search for something else.
So what I'm hearing is that there were a couple of things that were going on that were contributing to your frustrations. Number one, you were one of very many in a wide pool of women with the right intentions to help others, but all competing for the same result for clients. And that in itself can be really challenging, particularly as a woman in business, because we're always wanting to stand out. And I know, in my experience, one of the things that women come is like, how can you help me to stand out in a marketplace that, in your words, is already so flooded with people that are doing something similar? And the second frustration is you've got all of this experience, all of this knowledge, and not just knowledge that you've learned, but knowledge at your fingertips from all of these other people around the world and all these other modalities, namely NLP, that had helped, and I say quote unquote helped. They claimed to help people, but there was something missing. So in that moment in time where you're frustrated because you didn't know how to stand out in the crowd, and you're frustrated because you've got all of this wisdom, but you're not able to actually get results for your clients, what was going on inside of you that caused you to continue searching? Because so many women in that instance could just go, this is just too damn hard. I'll go back to my corporate job and I'll get, a regular income from something that's more substantial. So what was going on inside of you that had you continue to search?
Because I really didn't want to go back to corporate world, because I actually love my job as a coach for women, and I didn't want to do something that I don't love just because of the money. Yeah. And there were many points in time that I thought about going back to corporate world and have the stability of and security of finances coming in every month. But it just went against what I wanted and against the legacy that I want to leave for my kids. So I really felt there should be another way. But it was really hard, and I really had to push through, and it really took a lot of perseverance and a lot of energy. And were not the best years, I must say.
And I can imagine at those points in time as well, because there's so much evidence that supports other modalities that are currently available for women. And that's kind of what leaves you, it keeps you stuck in that cycle of, well, if I just go and do one more course, if I just go and learn one more tool, if I just go and learn one more technique, then this will be the thing that I can bring back to my clients to get some results. So can you talk to us a little bit about that frustration that you had in terms of the searching for the thing that was going to be able to get you what you were wanting from your clients?
Yeah, so what actually happened is I had the question, why doesn't it do its job? When I look at all the things that I've done and all the self-help books and all the teachings of different gurus, and how come still so many women are stuck and become stuck and stay stuck? What's the issue here? And so I went on a search, and I came across a lot of different modalities and a lot of different websites and programs, but I just didn't felt the, how you say that, the click or something. It was just one of many. Like you felt, okay, seen that, done that, nothing new here, doesn't make the difference. It just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I kept on searching because I really believed there should be something different.
Yeah. So can you remember, because this was quite a few years ago now, can you remember what it was that you were searching for?
I didn't know. I didn't know what it was, what I was searching for. Actually, I made a list of what I wanted in life and in my business. And that was really have results, lasting results, in such a way that women could say, Nikolien, you have changed my life. That was number one. And the program that I would be running with those women should be fast, because in basics, I'm a bit of impatient person. So I don't want very long programs. I want fast results. And I want to keep on growing and learning and developing, because I love that. And I want to be a pioneer. I want to do things differently, because if I keep doing the same things as all the other coaches and therapists are doing, I will get the same results, and that wasn't good enough. So I wanted to have something different, and I wanted to have a flourishing business and a good income in such a way that I didn't have to struggle every month and worry about my mortgage and about the groceries and things like that.
Yeah.
So that was basically what I was looking for. And then I went out and with that list. And what happened actually, I was sitting behind my computer a couple of days later because I made that list in the middle of the night. I was sitting behind my computer and I felt the urge to post that list on a Facebook group, and more than 30,000 international female entrepreneurs were member of, mostly coaches and therapists. And I asked the question, does someone know a modality or a method or a process or something that matches this list? And I expected quite some comments on my question with 30,000 women member of that community, but I only got one response, only one. And that response came from Eri. And Eri is a Creatrix transformologist in Australia. And she said, Nikolien, have a look at Creatrix. So I did. I never heard of Creatrix. Wasn't in Europe, wasn't in nobody knew of Creatrix, only in Australia. So never heard of it. But I went out and Googled it.
Yep. And so you first identified what wasn't working. You identified the frustrations, the things that were causing you an area of concern, both within yourself and with the results that you were getting with your clients. Then you created a list of everything that you wanted. So the things that you needed to have a tick box of, so to speak, that you could go, yep, this is going to satisfy all of what I'm looking for myself personally and for my clients. So it becomes a win-win scenario. And through that clarity of knowing what wasn't working and what you were looking for, opportunity strikes and you learn about Creatrix. So can you tell us, because this was, like you said, you hadn't heard of it. It was not something that had been known outside of Australia at that point in time. We know that you're in the Netherlands. So can you tell me about the journey that you went on in terms of that leap of faith that you had to take? Because it takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage to be able to sort of hang your hat on this foreign concept simply because it looks like it's going to tick the boxes of something that you wrote down on a wish list. So can you tell us a little bit more about that journey that you made?
Yeah. So I Googled Creatrix and I came to the website of Institute of Women International, and I started reading and I started looking at all the reviews and the videos and testimonials and case studies. And I really felt something happening in my gut, like a little push or twinge or a little goosebumps or something. And I just knew that this was the missing link for me. Rationally, I didn't know, because I didn't know Creatrix, didn't know anyone who knew Creatrix. Never heard of Creatrix, not in Europe, very new, but I just felt in my gut that this would be different and this would be the missing link for me. So I contacted Mesh Sturmer, founder of Institute of Women, and then I asked, can I do the course in the Netherlands, in Europe? She said, no, you have to come over to Australia because we're not in Europe at that time. So my kids were just 1-year-olds and 4-year-olds.
Babies.
Babies, yeah. And then I had to decide, okay, do I go over to Australia, to the other side of the world for me, go in a plane for more than 30 hours for something I don't know, but it just feels good. And I decided I would do that. I would go to Australia for almost a month for something that I didn't know, but just feels good. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions in my life.
And I can imagine at that point in time, I'm just thinking about, the conversations that you must have had with your husband and with your loved ones. I found this thing on the other side of the planet and I don't really know what it is. It looks like it's going to satisfy everything that I'm looking for in this business model that I'm so passionate about fulfilling because I really want to help other women. And so I'm going to go. That must have been quite a There must have been a lot of really interesting conversations that came out
Yeah.
as a result of that, because logically, and so many people make their decisions based on logic, there must have been a lot of, but Nikolien, you don't know anything about this. And, you know, all of these legitimate excuses, so to speak, that could have quite easily steered you in a different direction. So we often talk about, and we hear women say all the time, it just felt right. There was something in my gut that said, this is what I was looking for. How did you, what process did you go through that had you trust that gut feel so much that you were prepared to get on a plane, travel halfway around the world, leave your family for the best part of a month to learn this new tool to then bring back into Europe?
Yeah, so actually the one thing I just kept in my mind, what do I have to lose?
Mm.
That was the only thing. That would only be money and some time. But that, you know, you can overcome money and you can overcome time. On the other hand, what do I have to win? And that was so much bigger. And in the end, because, you know, if it would turn out that Creatrix wasn't the right answer or wasn't for me, then at least, you know, I had a wonderful holiday in Australia for almost a month. Never been to Australia, so that would be a very good experience. And I also felt, you know, I want to be a good example. I want to be a role model to my children. And I want to teach them that if you get an opportunity and it feels good, don't keep yourself constrained. Don't hold yourself back because of the what ifs.
Yeah.
Because you never know what if. So I just remembered, okay, what do I have to lose?
Mm.
And that was just peanuts with if in contrast to what I could have, what I could win.
Yeah.
So that kept all the yes buts and what ifs outside.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I felt it was just a really cool adventure.
So what happened afterwards? You came to Australia, you learned the process, you experienced Creatrix, because up until that point you hadn't even experienced Creatrix for yourself. So you were literally, you know, running on a leap of faith. What happened in your world after?
Yeah, so I got the answer on the question, why are so many women so stuck and stay stuck? So I got the answer, and during my own Creatrix program, I let go of afraid of not being successful. So I came home and started to embed Creatrix in my company, and then within a month I had a full practice, and I started to get a waiting list. So it was really mind-blowing what
And
happened there.
you said earlier, at that point in time, your business, you were putting in a lot of effort, a lot of hours, and you were not getting a business return on that in terms of financial investment. You weren't getting returns for your
Yeah,
clients either. So
yeah.
in the space of a month of learning this new tool, you came home and completely turned your business around.
Definitely,
Wow.
definitely. So within a month, I had a full practice. I got clients just by you know via clients who already came to me, and yeah, it was mind blowing. And I really felt, okay, this is just too big to hold to myself to just do it on my own.
Mm.
It is too big. I have just too many clients now.
What a problem to have.
Yeah. Yeah, it really turned my life around. Really turned my life around.
Yeah. And so once you established some real solid experience in your own business, getting results with your clients, you worked with a lot of people, you then approached Maz and things grew even more, because you're now our head trainer of the Institute of Women in the European division. So this one desire to find something that genuinely made a difference in other women's lives, that really set them free so they didn't have to keep coming back, that was led to be a role model for your children, has really grown into something that is so much bigger than what could have even been conceived at
Absolutely.
that point in time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I would have thought about what, if I would have made a 5-year plan at that time, I couldn't have envisioned this.
Mm.
This is so much bigger, so much more impactful. So yeah, it's been mind-blowing. It's been an absolute wonderful ride because of that just one decision to follow my gut.
Yeah. So if there were women watching this, watching your chat and going, oh my God, like this woman, she's got some amazing amount of courage because, of her journey. I could never do that, but it sounds so good. And, what if I could do that? And this, everything that I've read about this seems so me. What would you say to them?
Yeah, if it feels good, if your gut screams to you yes, then all the what ifs and the yes buts are peanuts. You can overcome that. And if a woman really wants to, she will find a way, always. So
Yeah.
just get creative. And the first decision that you have to make is does it feel right for me? And if that is a yes, just make it happen. You have nothing to lose. You've nothing to lose. You've only got to win.
Very true.
So don't hold yourself back here.
And when you think about your own personal life, Nikolien, how has this journey changed your life? Let's put the business and the success that you've had for your clients to the side for just a minute. How has it helped you to be a better version of you?
I now feel that I really can be of value, and that women really say to me, Nikolien, you've changed my life. And it's a ripple effect, because if you change a woman's life, you change also her family and her children and the community, etc. So it's so much bigger than you are, and it's so much bigger than I am. So it's a ripple effect, and I'm part of that ripple effect, and it's very humbling, actually. It's very humbling. And sometimes I think, okay, who am I to be, to be in this position to do what I do and change all those women's lives? And what did I do to get that opportunity to do so and become part of a very big mission in the world? And because all what I did was just follow my gut, follow my instinct, follow my intuition, or how you want to call it, and just not follow my head and all the blah 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 in my head, but just follow what felt right.
Well, and I think what's really powerful about what you did is, yes, you listened to your gut, but before you were even able to listen to your gut, you identified what wasn't working and you started to make a list of what it is that you actually wanted. So you got really clear about the current situation that you were in, and then you got proactive about looking for something that was going to change that situation. And when the opportunity knocked, you didn't, just let it slide by. You actually pursued that opportunity. And I think this is what so many women get stuck in. We know what's not working. So often, though, they don't spend time thinking about what they want and what that would look like and what characteristics and attributes that has. And then if an opportunity does come that fulfills even a portion of that what if list, it's the doubts and the fears and the insecurities that halt them from actually taking progress. So I think what we can learn from you, Nikolien, is all of that. Know what doesn't work, look for what it is that you want, and then when that opportunity comes, what do you have to lose by at least giving it a crack? Because, like
Exactly.
5 years ago, you wouldn't have even dreamed that you were in the position that you are now, being one of, the most influential women in the Institute of Women, who are leaving a real, true legacy for all of the women that you're training because of that one decision that you made to follow your own instinct.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very inspiring.
Thank you so much.
So I hope everyone has got something out of Nikolien. She is a wealth of wisdom and a wealth of knowledge and experience because, as you can imagine, she's followed that instinct and then learned and implemented and actioned in the space of 30 days, turned her entire business and, as a result, not just her business, but her whole world on its head, which then in turn I'm going to make the pretty sure assumption that your family have definitely benefited from that as well.
Definitely, definitely. We moved last year. We moved house from a city apartment to well, we live now in the rural area with a lot of land and animals and a lot of space for the kids to play, and yeah, change that life too.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's the personal ripple effect that you get to
Yeah,
experience, isn't it?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time. I know it's very early where you are this morning, so I hope you have a fantastic day. And to
Thank you so
everyone
much.
who joined for this little interview, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you found this beneficial. Have a great day.